Hello and welcome to Europhoria, the podcast about the great, glam and garish from Eurovision past. My name is Roland Bodnam, and as ever I'm joined by my co-host. She's a little bit ill today, but just wait till next week where she'll rise like a phoenix. It's Isobel Chillman. Isobel, you're sick.
Yeah, I've got laryngitis, mate.
Oh, fuck. Well, Isobel, actually, we agreed beforehand that because you're sick, we're not going to do wine today. However, I thought maybe I might be able to help a little bit. So instead of wine, I have one of three things to offer you. Would you like 1, some Lucozade?
Okay.
2, some Ribena.
Oh.
Or 3, some Lemsip.
Oh.
Or none, or you can have water.
I want all of them.
I mean, I'm going to have one.
Together. Oh, the cat's licking my knee.
Oh, that's strange.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, you can hear her purring. Put her close to the mic.
That's Patsy. That's a happy Patsy.
Oh, that's the first time we've heard Pat. Just listen to that. That sounds like a helicopter. Yeah, I'll turn her up.
She's loving it. Hi, baby.
She wants to be on the podcast. She can't be. She can't be. Right, shall I open the Lucozade and see how it sounds?
Go on.
Here we go. Ready?
I think I want my Ribena.
Right, well, I'll have some Lucozade. Oh, it didn't sound that fizzy. No.
We got a cat pair.
Oh, actually, while I was meant to be opening that, no, we don't have time to talk about where you were last week. You were in.
I went to Edinburgh.
You did. Had an amazing time, yeah?
Yeah, it was great. It was really nice. It was some good shows.
Are we going to talk about your little song?
My lovely song.
I mean,
yeah, sorry there wasn't a podcast last week, guys. We just realised last minute that there was no time to record.
Yeah, we just ran it.
I was in Edinburgh the entire week. We hadn't thought about it. But
that's okay.
It's all fine. Everyone needs a break. You know, you need a break from us sometimes, I'm sure.
Your song
we all need a break from each other.
Absolutely more than make up for it, I think. It was
really great.
A feat of excellence, I feel.
Maybe that's why I've lost my voice.
Maybe you
that much singing.
Committed so much to the song. So, let's see if your voice can handle the next bit. Are you ready, Isobel?
Eurovision news.
Yeah, you did quite well. Not too bad. We missed a couple of weeks of news, actually. And there's quite a lot of stuff that's happening. So there's loads of countries now announcing their involvement in Eurovision 2018.
Melody Fest have already named someone who's going to be competing.
Bloody hell.
Already.
But it's very well organised. Although it's only like a few months off until they start the semi-final or the build up to it at the very least. It's not far off. It comes around quick. So one of the big countries that have re-announced their involvement is Australia, which is kind of
bloody back, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of inevitable at this point. I don't really think that they're ever leaving. However, some bigger news that happened in the last week was when Jon Ola announced the launch of Eurovision Asia.
Mental. Absolutely mental.
Like, no one was really expecting it, and then out of nowhere, Jon just tweets that. He likes to do things sort of last minute. So there's not...
Have they named any countries yet?
There's not a ton of details about it so far. No date or anything. However, I do have a list of 9 countries who have so far confirmed their intentions to participate. The 9 countries so far are Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands...
Oh my god, this is going to be so good.
Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Japan, New Zealand, and Australia.
Twice.
Yeah, they're doing both now. I think they're just spreading their bets and hoping to win big on at least one of them.
Probably they should have to leave Eurovision.
They should only be able to do one, right?
Yeah, I think probably once this one gets up and running, the Asia one.
It should be one or the other.
You can't do the Europe one. And
the Asia one. I think there's...
No, especially now there is an Asia one.
Yeah, because they'd want to... Yeah.
The Solomon... Okay, I'm already going to say...
The Solomon...
I'm putting my colours to Solomon Islands.
I think Vanuatu is going to be dark horse.
Right, all right.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to say that. Right, shake hands. You're Vanuatu, I'm Solomon.
Okay, whoever comes
until
higher
the
up.
bitter end. Yeah.
Okay.
That's who we're supporting now.
All right, amazing. Vanuatu. Come on, Vanuatu.
Fucking great.
I should probably look up where Vanuatu is on a map.
Yeah.
Or if that's how you pronounce it. But
sure.
Until then, Vanuatu, let's go. So, Isabel, also in the last few days, or in the last week, Jon-Ola also gave a fairly extensive interview to a website called Eurovision Fan House. Sounds like a great house.
Oh, great.
And the topic of expansion came up, and Jon explained, we also want to see if it's possible to create an American version of the song contest.
We talked about this.
Although we haven't concluded that yet. This is a long-term strategy to see how far outside Europe the brand can reach.
Hell yeah.
He's got his sights set on world domination, hasn't he? Jon.
Yeah, he should do. That would be bonkers.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
It'd be amazing. So
I'm very excited because, like, you know, as going through this, and as every Eurovision fan knows, you know, you have these old tropes that we talk about with Eurovision, and there's things that are very stereotypically Eurovision, or things that aren't, and there's all these old jokes that you can make, and that's great, and it's warm, and that's a lovely warm blanket that your old Eurovision grandmother made for you, that you go back to every year and go, oh, I love this blanket.
Lovely. Yeah.
Lovely blanket.
Yeah.
Whereas Eurovision Asia don't have any of that.
No.
Completely new. What the heck is Hong Kong going to put in comparison to New Zealand?
Yeah.
Like, this is very different. Not that Europe doesn't have very different cultures.
No.
But you think about how vast the difference is in terms of Australasian culture to, say, East Asian culture.
Huge.
And the music differences that are going to come out of it. And because there isn't any backing, you know, I would hope that they're not going to go into this in the same after, you know, looking at Eurovision and saying, oh, so that's what Eurovision does, so that's what we need to put through. I want everyone to go full crazy.
Yeah.
Like, full, put in whatever the fuck you want to put into this and just see what the fuck happens. This is the first one.
Yeah.
We're going to see the first one of Eurovision Asia.
Plant your flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever is going to, you can set now. There's no stereotypes. You are the start of it. You're going to set the precedent of years to come, so that when, you know, 15 years, when we're still doing this bloody podcast, we'll look back and go, can you remember the first ever Eurovision Asia and what happened then, and compare it to now, and the thing, and be able to make those references in terms of, like, well, when the Solomon Islands did that in, you know, Eurovision Asia 3, actually it was totally ripped off now by New Zealand, and they're massively doing that. Like, there might be bonkers stuff that we can talk about. Oh God, it's going to be so good.
Well, it's going to give us a lot more ammunition to write stories about, right? Because if it's 3 times the amount of Eurovision, then we'll be fine.
When's it going to be held in the year?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Will it be, like, spread out, or will we have, like, a month of, like, Eurovision Europe, Eurovision Asia, Eurovision, like, that would be pretty intense, but I could do that. Anyway, it's all gonna
I'm so excited.
All gonna happen, all gonna come out soon.
It's gonna overtake the Olympics one day.
It really, I mean,
the future of the world, I genuinely, it's
depends on Jon's expansion. We're going to move on to some Any Other Business. We have 2 emails this week that I very much enjoyed, and they have a very common thread throughout. Ooh. So we're going to start an email with the subject line, ooh, just a little email. Love it.
Oh, that's good. Who did that?
This is from Tom in Bulgaria.
Have we heard from him before?
Yeah, Tom. Yeah, Tom from Bulgaria.
Good old Tom.
Tom writes, hi guys, long time no write. After Eurovision, life just took a downturn. Aww. There was no reason to wake up in the morning. But fortunately, the summer has provided warmth to my soul, and the news of Eurovision Asia makes things a lot better.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for the national selections to start, which is a whole other thing as well, because they've all got to do national selections. Maybe you've mentioned this before, but if you haven't, here is a wonderful documentary about Daz Sampson before the contest.
Oh, no.
Safe to say, it's everything you think it would be.
Yeah, no.
Have you watched it?
Fuck yeah, I have.
Okay.
That's being used in my prep for the...
Okay.
It's fucking great.
So Tom then writes, I've enjoyed the podcast and cannot wait to hear a song from a listener, in brackets, not that yours are bad, Roland. Fine, that's fine. If I had any idea how to make a song, write, compose, or sing anything else related to the field, I would try and contribute, but, you know. Anyway, all the best from your only, listener in Bulgaria, Tom. I'm sure we've got loads of listeners in Bulgaria.
That's a challenge. If you're in Bulgaria,
Are you another listener in Bulgaria?
Prove Tom wrong.
I'm going to follow this up straight away with another email. And
this 50% of my ex-boyfriends have been called Tom.
Tom from Bulgaria, watch out.
That's a true fact. That's really sad, isn't it?
Well, it depends how many ex-boyfriends there have been. Because if
8.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird. We had another... This is a really lovely email, actually, from Ryan. And Ryan says, "Hi, guys. Needless to say, I love this podcast. Why else would I be writing in? That's fair. This last episode in particular was incredible. 2 references to Eurovision's true fallen hero, Daz Samson. What a dream. It made my forgotten flame for Daz burn bright once again."
Ryan, what's wrong with you?
I had to take myself back to the documentary the Beeb made on him in the run-up to that fateful night in 2006. The documentary covers Daz's illustrious career in bizarre novelty hits and his naive delusions about what's to come. At times, it's like watching a Christopher Guest film.
Right. Okay. It wasn't going to be next week's.
Are you pushing
but
forward?
I'm gonna do it. Now that we've got this comment and there's so much Daz Samson love.
There's a lot.
Right, we're going to talk about him next week, guys.
Well,
it's the only time I'm ever going to release the information before the podcast.
Ryan says it truly needs a podcast episode of its own.
There you go, Ryan. Next week. It's happening. Me and you, buddy. It's all for you. And Daz.
Ryan also says, during my deep dive on Daz... Oh, great alliteration.
I wish I could. Right.
During my deep dive on Daz, I was delighted to find he is playing at my local Pride in less than a month.
Shut
This
up.
to me proves that Daz is looking out for me. I just know it. I'm not going to reveal my favourite host because I don't want it to end on a downer. So I'll go straight down the middle and say Daz is my favourite. Fair.
Oh.
Isabel doesn't like that. I mean,
you could have said Patsy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Just say the cat.
Well, then Ryan says, "Thanks for making such a great podcast and inadvertently helping me with some mental health issues."
Oh, Ryan.
I mean, we're glad we can help.
I'm always happy to help with that kind of stuff.
I
As
know,
someone
right?
who suffers from mental health issues also, that's very nice to hear.
It's amazing to hear.
Thanks, mate.
We just, it's lovely. Sorry about the absence of a song. Please just use Teenage Life as my entry and hand me and Daz the Michelle McManus DVD. Keep up the good work, Ryan from Europe. He fucking nailed that email. He absolutely nailed the
I
email.
genuinely wish I could talk and express myself better, because that might be one of my favourite. It might be the best email we've
Absolutely
ever got.
nailed that email.
Oh, Ryan.
Right. He did put it in brackets.
Where's Daz going to be then?
Oh, what do you mean, Daz? Oh,
his local Pride.
It is in UK. That was as far as we knew. That's the problem with you asking for that only. That's what happens. I mean, I'm sure we can look it up.
I don't want to go. Do I? No.
Do I?
Should I?
So without spoiling your episode next week, I did start watching that documentary. I didn't watch very much. I watched like maybe the first quarter.
Don't watch anymore.
I won't watch anymore.
Listeners, you can watch if you want.
When I started thinking maybe it was perhaps the best like comedy character like creation that went too far ever. A bit like I say modern day Sacha Baron Cohen does. Ali G or Borat or whatever. It felt like maybe he was actually a genius and was playing a character all along. But,
no.
But maybe he wasn't. But literally there were some lines in it that you couldn't write. They were so funny. It was unbelievable. Oh man, you couldn't.
We'll discuss it in detail next week.
You could not.
Right, Ryan, because you're so great and because 2 of you in 1 week, you and Tom.
Yeah, that was weird.
When
I read them, I was like, oh my god, it's too much Daz.
We're bringing Daz forward. Next week, buddies.
Okay, there we go. We've done news. We've done any other business. I'm sure I'm going to have to cut that down somewhere because we had about 5 minutes of cat just purring at one point.
I've got to keep the cat.
No, I'll keep not all of the cat, but some of the cat. So we're going to move on, Isabel, to the story. Thankfully, it is my week to tell a story this week because I don't think we'd have got through it if you were telling a story.
I'm just going to sit here and eat peppers.
However, I do feel slightly bad because I swear I don't intentionally choose ones that will definitely make you angry.
Oh, no.
But I do think that the listeners really like it when you get angry. I remember someone even suggested a drinking game where they drink whenever you exclaim, "I hate people."
said that 3 times today. I can even show
you said that 3 times a day, and you told me that you had a really zen day.
I did.
You were like, I had a really zen day at the office. I only said I hate people 3 times.
I did say that to you, didn't I?
You did, yeah, you did. So I am going to tell you, Isobel, the story of what I believe is the worst man in Eurovision history.
Oh, no, what?
And I feel quite comfortable saying that. In my opinion,
We've had racists.
Well, yeah, okay, but we'll see. I would say he's worse than...
And Daz Sampson.
Well, we haven't had him yet. So I do think that he's worse than our one recently, which was a man tied up in a global political scandal. So here we go. Let's hold out for this one.
Good.
I have to say, actually, that this story actually comes from a suggestion made by our listener, Jaime. So you may want to thank or scold Jaime like when we get to the end. So watch out for Isobel's wrath on that one.
Well,
Jaime.
I can't be too wrathful because I can't talk.
No, that's true.
I can growl. I can't actually.
So, Russia, surprise, began its long and winding Eurovision story back in 1994, shortly after becoming a member of the EBU. Now, 1994, as we know, was a very good year to start in Eurovision, as it was the year that Ireland gifted the world the river dance. That year, Russia entered a woman named Judith. Now, for their first year, actually, they didn't do too badly. They came in 9th out of 25.
I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, not too bad for the first year. Actually, we're not gonna focus on Judith at all. That's some context. I would like to point out though that after Eurovision, Judith formed a duo with a Russian drummer, and named the duo Beauty and the Beast.
No.
Which I feel is really unfair for the drummer. Or at least I'm assuming it's the drummer in that situation who is the beast. I feel like...
And also, well, I suppose this is back in the 90s, but still, think about names that are Googleable.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's
SEO.
ever going to find you.
Also, isn't that intellectual property? Surely, Disney are pretty hot on that. You can't call your band Beauty and the Beast. Oh, bless. But anyway, so for the next year, Russia wanted to come in with something strong, something that would make an impression, and so they got out the big guns. They decided to pull in 5-time World Music Award winner of the world's best-selling Russian artist. World's
best in the world.
It was the one and only, you know him, I know him, Philip Kirkorov. I've never heard of him. No, so Kirkorov was actually a pretty big name in Russia. He had already won the Grand Prize.
I'm a pretty big deal in Russia.
I mean, he would definitely say that. He'd already won the Grand Prize of Schlager 90 or Hit 90 competition. Schlager. In 1992, he won Music Video of the Year for his song Atlantis. In 93, he won the Russian Ovation Award for Best Singer of the Year and won at the Bulgarian World Singing Competition, the Golden Orpheus, that same year. So it's pretty...
Golden Orpheus.
The Golden Orpheus.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage.
The Golden Orpheus.
Golden Orpheus.
At the start of 1994, he also cemented himself at the tip-top of Russian pop music royalty by proposing to Russian megastar singer Alla Pugacheva, who accepted. And they were scheduled to get married just 2 days after the Eurovision Song Contest that he was set to perform at. Like Justin and Britney. Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't it be a wonderful fairy tale if Philip were to win Eurovision and then get married to his pop princess just 2 days afterwards? I can tell you now that didn't happen. No, the winner that year was a song called Nocturne, representing the country of Norway, which we've spoken about, haven't we?
Yeah, I know Nocturne.
Yeah. Good for Norway, winning that one. Philip Kirkorov came in a fairly disappointing 17th out of 22,
No, I wouldn't be happy
23.
With that. No.
And to be honest, once we've heard a little bit more about Kirkorov, we'll probably be quite glad that he plays so poorly. Let's have a quick listen to Philip's song. I mean, let's have a listen and see what we think.
Jakieś пожалуйста, к разуму и к радости, навсегда забудь вулкан, чем грозит...
What year did you say that was?
This is 1994. It's pretty outdated.
It's like 1984.
It really does.
His hair is ridiculous.
Well, he's dressed...
All the singers are just like odd middle-aged men. Their mouths are too wide.
They look very 80s. So he's dressed pretty flamboyantly. He has a really puffy white shirt, right? And huge hair. Actually, his shirt, having said it's very outdated, is pretty much the same shirt that Michael Flatley wore in the Riverdance that year.
Yeah.
Big puffy arms. But I mean, that's a bit outdated, isn't it? So he had, as Isabel says, big hair. The song itself... It sounds like a 17th place song, right?
It hasn't been remembered over the years.
There you go. And actually, his sort of flamboyance and choice of outfit, and he's wearing makeup on the stage and everything, has sort of only increased in recent years. Almost to the extent, almost in some interviews, he looks like he's in drag. Like he's got like amazing sort of like crystal outfits on, and like has lots of makeup. So he does look quite amazing at some points, and he carries himself in a sort of very flamboyant way. So at this point, after I was reading his Wikipedia page, I was like, you know what, he sounds like quite a nice guy, and the song's a bit dated, but he looks quite sort of
I can't wait.
He looks all right. That was until the point that I came across the section titled Scandals, which is my favourite section in any Wikipedia entry, especially when it's in plural as well. Scandals.
Oh, yeah.
So, Isabel.
And sometimes it just says controversy.
Yeah, no.
That's not going to
Scandal. So, time for some scandals, Isabel.
So scandalous. Go.
On May 20th, 2004, a press conference was being held by Kirkorov in the city of Rostov-on-Don. A reporter for the newspaper called The Newspaper of Don, the reporter was named Irina Aryan, took the mic and asked the question, why are there so many covers in your repertoire? Is this a lack of new song or new writers? At this point, Kirkorov interrupted her. And I'm going to take a few pieces of the ensuing dialogue here. Isabel, we're going to do a little role play. Now, would you like to read Irina's or Kirkorov's lines? There's less lines for Irina. Can I read Kirkorov?
Yeah,
I feel like I can do it. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah.
So here we go.
I will try not to read.
I'm going to hold it here. Can you read that?
Okay.
So here we go. This is at the press conference. Okay. Irina has just asked why there's so many covers. I'm not going to
read his bits. So I'm just going to read a treat for me.
Okay, here we go.
Can you name the number of covers in the repertoire except for Mum, Chic Ladies and Viva La Diva?
At this point, Kirkorov rolls his eyes to the camera and then they have a terse back and forth leading to the following. This is Kirkorov. Just a second. You are responsible for your own words. I will be responsible for my own. So we'll start from the beginning. Atlantis. Own song? Own song. Why are you taking pictures of me? You listen. Next. You. Who song? Who sang that? Heaven and Earth. Who sang that? Dana International? Tarzan and Ricky Martin? Next. My Bunny. Who? Marina. I will raise a glass.
You are a great singer.
Yes, I know I am great. He then goes on to list a bunch more other songs and then says, I do not want to talk to you anymore. Next question. I do not want you to take pictures of me. You are bothering me. I am annoyed by your pink blouse, your tits and your microphone. It was at that point that Kirkorov demanded the journalist be removed from the press conference. She did leave. And when she stepped outside, Kirkorov's bodyguards approached her, proceeded to grab her, assault her, in an attempt to take her camera and tape recorder, and when they succeeded, they broke both so that the recordings were unusable.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's not funny I'm laughing at your reaction mainly. I mean, there's more. That's not the end of the story.
I'm annoyed by your pink blouse, your tits, and your microphone.
Yeah. It's venomous, isn't it?
Shit.
Venomous.
He's
found...
nasty little bitch. Oh, I'm gonna get him.
Okay, so
I'm gonna get him.
It goes on.
Oh, the cat's getting involved.
Cat's furious.
Oh, she's a feminist. She's like me. She gets angry at misogynists.
So Irina then decided to take action. After failing to settle out of court, the reporter initiated a criminal case against the singer.
Good.
The case drew widespread attention in the media and across the whole of Russia and became known as Pink Blouse. If it was in the West, we'd have added gate on the end because of Watergate. But, Pink Blouse. The case eventually sided with Irina, the reporter, and found Kirkorov guilty of insults. And he was fined a massive $2,000. So
guilty of insults.
Yeah, you're guilty of insults, which is a weird.
That just makes it sound like she's being wussy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he said something mean about me. Actually,
you did insult her.
Yeah,
so pay a little bit of money over.
It was quite damaging for Kirkorov for his career. There was a sort of a turning against him in the sort of wider. I know that's no justification at all.
Celebrities get away with rape, though, don't they?
Yep.
So
yeah, they do.
Insults aren't going to really damage.
No.
Much.
Well, no, exactly. So I think you've seen into the future, because I was going to say there was a sort of turning against him, and like he was boycotted from a number of radio stations, and a number of singers spoke out against him. However, Kirkorov, in his brazen manner, refused to give a public apology, at one point saying, "I would rather work as a janitor than apologise to Irina Aryan," offending both Irina and all janitors in one swift sentence there.
Piece
so, real dick.
Is it a little bit of political satire for you? Is he got a job at the White House with Trump now, has he?
Interesting you say that as well.
Oh no! No!
That's for later. By no means did this incident kill his career, however. It's more of a sort of black mark against his name that slowly faded away. This leads us to scandal number 2. Escandalo. So scandalous. I feel like that's our theme tune whenever we have a scandal. In 2009, Philip Kirkorov was back at Eurovision, but this time in the position of judge. In fact, he was the head.
Don't fucking let the dick in.
The head of the Russian jury.
For fuck's sake.
I feel like this is really bad because I was trying to help you get better.
Rewarding bad behaviour.
Okay. We're here to point this shitty behaviour out and not stand for it. So, he was the head of the Russian jury. However, during the semi-final winners' conference, questions were raised about Kirkorov's close ties and friendships with a number of the contestants, including Greek representative Sakis Ruvaz and Eurovision favourite Alexander Rybak.
Is Rybak involved in this?
Well, they were pictured together.
In a sexy way?
Not in a sexy way at all. No. They were just pictured like out and about. So actually...
So he's not...
I think he's fine. So this led to Kirkorov standing down from the position as head of the jury, and he stated that his relationships to some of the singers raised questions from the participating countries about the objectivity of the Russian jury. So... sort of okay. I mean, you can sort of excuse that one. He's been in the industry for a while. A lot of those pop singers run in the same circuit, so you can sort of forgive that one. Let's move on to scandal number 3, 4, and 5, shall we? Slightly less forgivable.
Triple threat.
So I could only find brief descriptions for incidents 3 and 4, but they're well worth including. On the 3rd of September 2009, Philip Kirkorov was spotted on camera grabbing a camera off of journalist Veronika Kozlova.
Right.
This once more drew the attention of the media and was widely...
doesn't he?
Yeah, it was widely dubbed Pink Blouse Part 2. There were threats of legal action, and some suggested that he could actually end up in jail for 2 to 7 years due to it technically being theft. However, all charges were eventually dropped, and Kirkorov claimed that his actions were provoked by the journalist.
Yeah,
it was her fault. She was asking for it.
Yeah, exactly. I've read that before.
Scandal 4. Scandal 4. In 2010, video footage emerged of Kirkorov striking a female audience member whilst walking through the crowd.
Fuck, man.
A proper slap. All I could find was the video of it. Like, there's never been a comment about it. It's just like, it's fucking weird. It's really fucking weird.
It's because if you let someone get away with awful behaviour, they won't just... That's not a one-off.
No, it justifies it.
It
reinforces it.
And they keep fucking doing it forever until it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why fucking murderers start off by killing, like, dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, that's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get away with that. Just kill a person.
Interesting you say that. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I had like a little heart attack.
I
was like, is this the Eurovision murder? We finally found
I have
it.
been... I don't know if there is one. I don't think there is one. Anyway, no, he hasn't murdered anyone, as far as we know. Then we get to... No, he hasn't. Then we get to scandal...
As far as we know.
Legally, he hasn't.
As far as we know.
Legally, he hasn't. So then we get to Scandal 5. On December 6th, 2010, in the run-up to the Golden Gramophone ceremony, Kirkorov got involved in an argument with the assistant to the chief director, one Marina Yablakova.
He hates women.
Well, what it is he thinks he can do it to women, and he's scared of doing it to a man, so he just does it to women. Scumbag, right? Scumbag. So the argument that he got involved with was reportedly over the lighting in the fucking venue. Things got escalated, and according to a report submitted to the police, he proceeded to slap Yablakova, grab her hair, and kick her several times.
Oh my God.
Legal investigations were initiated, and what followed was basically a really, very public argument, and different celebrities took different sides.
Oh, any of the ones that took Philip's side. Yeah. You are the worst.
I think at one point, the whole of the Russian, national football team, or maybe it was rugby, was on his side. And it's what are you?
What's your point got to do with this?
You weren't there.
You weren't there. You're not in any way involved in this.
Yeah.
And also, you're a group of men.
Yeah.
You're a large, very aggressive group of men who are told to, taught to be
aggressive on the pitch,
and get what you want and take it and win at all costs. How is your conversation in this any voice that needs to be heard?
It's fucking nuts. 2 days later, on December 8th, Kirkorov fled to Israel, where he interred himself in a psychiatric hospital. On December 10th, Kirkorov issued a public apology to Yablakova, explaining that his behaviour was due to a serious illness, which happens to the singer every 6 months or so, and is accompanied by periods of blackouts or unconsciousness.
Right.
So it wasn't me. It was my
it
was my blackout.
It just happens. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then he was out again and fine. So.
Peace.
In recent years, Kirkorov has been in and out of court over a number of issues, including claims that he ripped off a number of songs from another singer. One last thing. As it seems everyone from Russia is these days, he's mates, as you foresaw, with the one and only President of the United States, Donald Trump. He was a jury member for the Miss Universe contest, and one quote that I read from Kirkorov that I kind of feel sums up his attitude to life and to women mainly on the subject of Trump was Kirkorov saying, "I introduced Donald to the popular Russian-Ukrainian singer Annie Lorak. I know he's a big connoisseur of female beauty, so he talked with her a whole lot the whole evening."
Excuse me while I go and vomit.
If there's one thing I want you to learn from this story...
every straight man I can find for the rest of my fucking life.
If anyone ever describes himself to you as a connoisseur of female beauty,
they're a sex attacker.
Turn around and walk away. It is not good. So as they say, you can judge someone by the company that they keep. And being mates with Donald Trump, I think, makes it clear that if you're ever nearby one Philip Kirkorov, I would still steer well clear. That's kind of... I've made Isobel angry. I've made her furious.
It's definitely not happened at all in this episode. I'm really trying to not have such a potty mouth. But all I want to say right now is the vilest words I can think of.
I mean, I did say a few of them in the whilst I was saying it. He's a complete arsehole.
I hate him.
And the weird thing was, because I read a lot of stuff other than this, the scandals I went on the Russian Wikipedia page, and the scandals part on that is quite far down the page, whereas on the English one, it's like midway up. I don't know if someone's trying to bury it.
Straight it is.
But I was sort of like, oh, he sounds like an interesting, slightly... And then all the hitting women things came out.
What is wrong with humans? What is wrong with the world? Why is everyone the worst? Did I show you this picture?
No.
Oh, I've seen so many things today that have made me angry. I did tell you I'd been
You had a really zen day.
Really zen day. No, actually, I didn't. It only made me slightly angry. It mainly made me funny. It made me funny. These people were on my bus.
Oh, God.
So I've tweeted this picture. If you want
Would
to
you
watch
like to describe it?
So there was a couple, a heterosexual couple on my bus that were wearing matching outfits, non-ironically. And I've said this before about something, and someone's gone, "How do you know they weren't doing it?" I went,
No,
you can tell.
You know
when someone's doing something ironically when they're not. This is with all seriousness, wearing matching outfits, both of them, black shoes, white jeans. They must be maybe 23.
Old enough to know better.
Old enough. And matching t-shirts that his says "I heart my girl" and hers says "I heart my boy."
Now, one of them, and it could genuinely be either, one of them made a decision for them to wear the shirts, and that is the insecure one who really wants everyone to know that this is my girlfriend or boyfriend.
In Dalston, though.
Oh, Jesus
What is wrong
Christ.
with them? They were on the same bus as me, and I was so desperate to take a photo that I couldn't. So I took some off of the CCTV.
What? Oh, right, I see. Yeah,
I couldn't catch them on that, and then they got off at my stop.
Oh, you were like, brilliant.
And I was like, fucking great.
Brilliant.
So I took a photo. Oh, is that harassment?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
If they didn't want photos taken, they shouldn't have worn them. Don't dress like that in Dalston.
Shall we move on from horrible people?
Oh, people are the worst.
So I have written a song.
You're not the worst.
Thanks.
I like you. I like Tom from Bulgaria.
Patsy.
I love Patsy.
Yeah, you love Patsy more than anything.
I like Ryan.
Yeah,
from Europe.
Ryan's great. Yeah, we love Ryan. We love all our listeners as well.
All the listeners.
Okay. Do you want to carry on, or I'll
just going to list everyone I like, mate.
Okay. So
just give me a sec.
If she hasn't said your name, just assume I cut it in the edit because it was a long list.
Like all of you.
Okay, good. So Isobel, I wrote a song, Isobel, and I want you to experience this from the perspective that I had. Okay. So I'm going to set this up for you. I want you to imagine you've had a lovely day. Maybe you've gone to the park. You've maybe done a bit of shopping, had some nice food. You come home and you think, you know what, I'm going to have a lovely evening in. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to put my PJs on, relax. And it gets later, you're watching a movie and you're just in on your own, loving life. And it gets to maybe close to midnight, maybe after midnight, you're still up. And then suddenly your phone lights up and you get a little alert on your phone.
No.
Isobel, I've written a song called Cold Caller. Are you ready? Here we go. This is a song called Cold Caller.
Night in and I'm feeling alright. I kick my shoes off and I pour me some wine. I'm feeling real good, I don't need a thing. Then my phone lights up and here we go. Uh-oh, what is this message at 1:45? Hey boy, I'm out in your hood and I'm having some fun. I don't want to be imposing, but this nightclub will soon be closing. There's one thing on my mind, so let me in, let's get entwined. I mean, I don't want to be unkind. Oh, you're my cold caller. When you're thinking of the things I do, pick up your phone and holler, 'cause it's heat between me and you. This time heat is all you're needing, so grab that phone, let's get proceeding. Well, loving's on your mind, just coke on me and we'll be fine. Quick change and I'm looking okay. You clean the house, make it look like it's always this way. Grab a glass and one for you as well. Just in time in the hall, I can hear the door. Uh-oh, I feel your hands on me when I open the door. Oh my, barely time for hello as the clothes hit the floor. Heavy breathing, oh, sounds so familiar. I know your body where you like my touch. Who'd have known tonight that we would be here? We take our time, no need for us to rush. I don't get it when I get it with you. You just know where to touch and you know what to do. Maybe we've learned from our history, or maybe cause we call each other every week. Oh, you're my cold caller. When you're thinking of the things I do, pick up your phone and holler, cause it's heat between me and you. This time heat is all you're needing, so grab that phone, let's get proceeding. When loving's on your mind, just cold call me and we'll be fine.
Cold caller. I love the dings.
I love the dings as well.
That was a song called Cold Caller from the perspective of being cold called and it kind of being all right. I'm aware, Isabel, that most of the time when that occurs, it's a very unwanted hey you up, and you're like no. But there's the occasion where you get a message and you go hello, like I haven't heard from you in a while.
So initial thoughts was, oh god, he's doing another one about sex. I can't cope.
I mean, it kind of was.
Yeah, well,
it was.
Cold call. Come on now.
Yeah.
But actually, I really liked it.
Did you?
It's very Scissor Sisters.
Oh,
which is great.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway,
I'm
a big Scissor Sisters fan.
It's
love
quite
the dings. Great melody.
Dings, yeah, strong dings.
You have learnt to edit with your lyrics. The further it got through, the more I could envisage it.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Envisage.
Yeah, could see it being sung by a like low key but sexy lady.
Oh yeah,
like
okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
like cool young millennial lady.
Yeah.
But sexy.
Oh yeah. See, I think I wrote it from I flipped the genders around only because I was aware of it sounding a bit sex pesty, texting a girl late at night. But maybe that's me being overly sensitive.
That is. I would love a boy to text me in the middle of the night.
Hey you up. The right boy. There are some boys that you wouldn't want.
Yeah, no. If you are just like a boy who has my number and has just heard me say that, this isn't
an open invitation.
Messaging, do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't me going, you should text me.
No. Like the right one.
And it's probably not you. Okay.
Just so you know.
It's
probably not you.
I can't think of anyone who'd be listening to this that I would want to text me.
No.
Who has my number.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you have friends who you're like, you're not expecting a text from them at 1:45.
No.
Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, feel free to text me.
I quite
I think the thing about the bit in that song that is most me is the bit where I tidy the house to make it look like it's always that tidy.
Funny. That's fucking funny.
I think that is my top priority.
Imagine if someone did actually, off the back of this, text one of us now.
Be like...
that we didn't know listen to the podcast.
Oh, secret. Well, I know a couple who might. No, I don't. Before we get too far away from the song, Isabel, and we forget what it was, let's do the score for this one. Cold Caller. Isabel, what do you think?
So I was flittering around up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But the longer it went through, the more set I was. And actually, I could really, not you singing it, but I could see that being sung by someone and
I'm
it
the
being
writer,
great.
not the performer.
Wheat.
8. I'm disappointed with that one.
Yeah.
You've given worse songs an 8 before.
No, but I'm not. I refuse to use 9 and 11 now.
Fuck. Well, there you go. That's the problem.
Well,
You're not a 10 then.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. I can. So that's third best score that I could get.
Third best
score. Okay, I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that. I figured it out. Yeah. I'm okay.
You're not second best. That's not a second best score song.
No. I'd agree with you on that. It's not second best score song. It's third best.
That's Yodel Rap Romania.
Yeah, because I was thinking a 10 if it goes 10, 11, 12.
You'd end up coming like 6th.
I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it goes 8, 10, 12. Fine, I'm an 8.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
You're
that.
an 8.
Yeah, I've got better. I've come to terms with it in my head. All right, then let's end the show before Isabel's voice gets any more damage and she can not do the podcast at all ever again, which would be terrible because it'd just be my voice.
We've got to talk about Daz next week.
So there we go. Before we end, any other business? If you would like to send in a song, or email us or tweet at us, you can do all of those things. You can email us at europhoriapodcast@gmail.com.
Or we're on Twitter, which is at EurophoriaCast. Please do get in touch. It's so nice hearing from people. Thank you so much to Ryan,
lovely
who was a new emailer today.
Yeah.
Please do, contact us and just let us know whatever you want, really.
Speaking of the songs, I'm adding to the prize pool this week, and you can send your songs. I know some people are writing. We're still waiting patiently for them. You can send them to europhoriapodcast@gmail.com. We have a prize fund that we're splitting between first, second, and third places after a public.
Let's not call it a fund.
Yeah, pot. Sorry. Prize
There's
pot.
no money.
There's no money.
You get a picture.
That's worth
I'll draw
more
you a
than
picture,
any money.
and you get a photo of me in a cowboy hat.
My prize this week that we're contributing to the pool is to ensure that you are never away from our podcast.
Oh, God.
I have got for you
Is it something I'm going to want?
battery charger to make sure your phone is always charged up.
Wow.
It's one of them little battery pack things. So yeah, it's a little battery pack that you get so that you can recharge your phone on the go. There we go then. That is the added to the prize. All the other prizes, we'll go through them again at some point. But
rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes as well.
Yeah, do it. Go on iTunes.
Bloody do it.
Even if you listen to us on another
make me feel happy
website or somewhere else, just go on bloody iTunes and
Just
click
do
5-star and then write
a
couple of sentences.
Come on.
So let's end the show on that slightly begging note. Before we go, however, Isabel, if you can say any more words, I have a question for you.
Go on.
You can listen to one song for the rest of your life. The choice is Scooch Flying the Flag or Daz Sampson Teenage Life.
Scoot.
Scooch every time?
I'm not repeating myself.
Okay, well, there you hear it for the rest. There you go, you heard it from here first. It's Scooch Flying the Flag all the way. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
Question ever.
We will see you next week. Bye!